What's up guys, and welcome back to Tech Plant, the channel that does 2 intros in one night but just changes a t-shirt and hopes you guys don't notice. Anyways, today I got another light review, but this one is quite interesting, so let's check it out. Alright, so let's get to tearing this thing out of the box so we can check it out. I've gotten products from Mrhua in the past, and I usually really like them, and they're always packaged pretty nicely. And as you see, they kind of have really nice manuals with multiple pages, which you don't always see with a lot of other companies. Sometimes they skimp with these things. And another huge perk with this light, in my opinion, is it comes with like an actual hanging hardware. So not just the clips with the little like steel cables, but this time they have like an adjustable like rope and pulley system, which I almost always have to buy separately. So I'm glad they included it this time. Alright, so now that I have it out of the box, it feels pretty sturdy and nice and heavy. So I don't see any like big issues with it. Everything seems pretty normal as any other LED light. Again, here's the stuff that's included. So they have like the clips, and then they also have the adjustable like rope pulley hanger, which is again really awesome because usually you have to buy those separately, but in this case they actually give you one, so that's pretty cool. One less thing you got to buy. And looking at the front panel, everything looks fine. I don't see any like ugly like solder marks or like any filth from the factory, so that's pretty cool. And again, this one is just 60 pieces of white LED lights. So this no longer has that terrible like pink hue that most grow lights have. Looking at the back, you just have a nice robust power switch, your standard like plug input that you see on most grow lights, and also they included a daisy chaining plug, and this one is international, so you can put any cord or cable in there, which is really cool. And what this allows you to do is chain these lights together, so you don't have to have like power bricks or multiple cords plugged in. You can kind of chain them together, so it's a really nice feature to be included on a light like this. I'm super excited about this rope hanger. It seems so silly, but this is always like an additional purchase I have to make, and I'm glad to see companies actually care and like put little perks like this in it, and it really shows that they kind of care about the customers. So this is pretty cool. All right, so let's plug this thing in and take a look at this artificial sun. Finally something that isn't so horrible to look at. I'm really excited to try this light out. It's going to be great for time lapses and just being able to enjoy my plants for the color that they actually are, and not some like pink washed out mess. So here it is, the big major reason why I got this light and why I'm hyped about it. Check it out. You can see here that the light is finally natural. I have another scene with some pink lights, so you can really see the big difference in why I do this. Here they are then in a side by side, so you can really get a good idea of how they kind of compare and why you might want one over the other. Alright, so here I'm going to try and use my current situation to kind of illustrate why I think this light's great and why I'm excited to use it. And as you can see right now, it's kind of pink in this weird like sci-fi feel, although I do kind of like it. I do feel kind of like cyberpunk, or like I live in like some weird dystopian future or something. I don't know, it's kind of cool. But here, if you take a look again, you can see how the more natural light really brings out the colors in the plants. If you look at the plants up close under this pink light, it's kind of hard to identify issues with them because you can't quite pick out different colorations as well. I don't know what is with the pink light or why it really messes with you, but when I look at my plants, it's hard for me to see pests, it's hard for me to see different colorations, and it's just altogether harder for me to identify possible issues. But you'll see as I switch to this more warm natural light, it's much easier to see the greens. It's much easier to see the coloration. I can kind of decipher what could be going wrong with my plants, if they're turning yellow a little bit, or if they're turning darker or blacker, or the edges. There's a lot of little things you can look for that the pink light's really obscure, but a more natural light really lets you see. I've yet to do any real experiments with this natural light color compared to like these purple pink grow lights. Once I find a company that makes the same model but in both variations, I'll try and buy them and get kind of an experiment going just to get a decent consensus on it. Here's some actual side by sides, no like camera tricks, just straight up me putting cardboard between my plants, having one light hanging on one side and having the other hanging on the other side, and you can see it's a world of difference. One side is like your dystopian cyberpunk future, and the other side is more natural and warm and kind of a happy feeling. At least that's kind of how I feel when I look at it. Again, I do like this weird like science lab feel that my room has, but I really do like the nice natural light. It's much more appealing on my eyes. One of the main reasons I also have this light is for time lapse. I want to be able to do nice time lapses and encourage them to grow, but I need a strong light that isn't going to mess up the footage. So if I used these traditional pink grow lights, the time lapses would look horrible because they would have just terrible color. But with this one, I can set this up in my basement and just have a nice natural light that will encourage growth and allow my plants to flourish in a time lapse. I hope all this footage kind of gives you an idea of what you might like and what you might be looking for if you're going to purchase a grow light, if you do want these more natural colors, or if you do prefer the cool pink lights. It's kind of up to you and kind of your style, I suppose. Alright guys, I hope that kind of answers your questions about this kind of light and why you might want it. Again, I really do love that it's more natural. It makes my plants look more pretty. When I look at my plants under this pink light, they don't look very pretty. It's just kind of like a bluish pink blob, and I swear I'm getting cancer from being in this room with these lights all the time. But anyways, I think this light's very good for if you want to actually show off your plants with more of their true color. It makes it nice for kind of troubleshooting and seeing problems with your plants much earlier. And for any YouTubers or people who are taking video or pictures of your lights, it's going to look way better in pictures. Fighting the white balance settings to try and get this to look anything remotely nice is very difficult. But anyways, links in the description. You can check them out if you want to. And as always, may your plants grow strong and healthy. I'll see you next time.